I would bet my life on it. I'm certain that you're not natural. And if you aren't, prove it. How good that would feel. Eddie, you post your blood work and you prove that you're natty. Imagine how great it would feel to prove Coach Greg wrong. Eddie, I'm asking you, answer the question. Are you on steroids? Coach Greg, and in today's video, Eddie Hall, he wants the smoke. He's calling out Coach Greg's BS. And so the only problem is he gets every single thing wrong. Well, other than my voice.
Why does Greg keep mentioning steroids?
Why do I keep mentioning steroids? Because Eddie does not talk about it. And I am famous for doing natty or nots. Am I not famous for calling out the BS, for telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear? Eddie does not want people to know that he's not natural. He also doesn't want to hear that he perhaps is obese or morbidly obese, that it's dramatically shortening his life, and that if he were perhaps to go natural, he could live a lot longer. Drop 30, perhaps 50 kilograms and live longer than last time. And is that really bad? And so what message might you get from my video? That losing weight is going to make you live longer. That if you're 350 pounds at 6'2", it's not healthy. And remember, this is coming from a man that previously stated he was going to be competing in a bodybuilding competition. I've already reached out to him, sent him my cookbooks, but is he in fact using them? I don't think so. Because while he was losing body fat, he was putting on muscle from taking steroids. Does anyone...
Again, we're getting back to steroids. I mean, we all know why I know so much about them.
And so when I say it's from taking steroids, he doesn't say, no, I wasn't. He doesn't say Coach Greg is wrong. He says, oh, we know why he knows so much about steroids. Because, oh, he used to sell them. That's an ad hominem attack. Why can't you simply answer the question? Are you natty or are you not? And you know what would have a better response video than this? Responding to Coach Greg's BS, here's my blood work. And you read it. Testosterone levels, normal. FSH, LH, normal. IGF-1 levels, normal. Cholesterol, HDL, LDL, normal. That is how you do a response video to shut up Coach Greg. When I did a video on Hussein Farhat, I said, this guy's a fake natty. His response, he showed me his blood work a couple of days later. I went over his blood work and said, guys, I got it wrong. I do in fact make mistakes and I admit to them. In comparison, Eddie Hall, he shies away.
Okay, it's a good comparison there. But I will say, black people in general just look bigger and more toned. That's just a fact. So he just compared a 6'2" guy to a 5'10" guy.
Samson Doda's not 5'10", he's 6'1". And so, is he saying he only looks bigger because he has a proper I don't think so.
So let's say is right, we do the 5%, so let's do 350 divided by 100 times 85, that would put me at 5% body fat. 297, 300 pounds. That's reasonable.
And so Eddie Hall thinks that if he was as lean as Samson Doda, he would be 297 pounds shredded. And so Eddie, once you diet down to 297 pounds and you realize you still have 50 pounds to lose, you will now discover that you're not as shredded as you think. Has Samson Doda ever looked that bad in his life? No. Look at any bodybuilder in off season. For example, Eric Janicki was 290 pounds, competing in the 240s. He loses 50 pounds. Eric Janicki in the off season, he looks shredded. On stage, still shredded. But he's losing close to 50 pounds.
I want to do a bodybuilding show at some point. Just once, just to see how I fare and how I look on stage. I think that'd be fun.
Would also love to see him do a bodybuilding competition. Remember, we've got it here in his words. 297 pounds, he thinks he'd be shredded. Wait till he gets down to 297 and still realizes he has 50 pounds to lose.
And then, as I age and just relax a bit more, of course that body weight will come down to well under 300 pounds, I'm sure.
And so he says his body weight is going to come down to well under 300 pounds. Why doesn't he do it now? Remember, the longer you're at an unhealthy weight, the more damage it does. I've used steroids for over 10 years. Had it been 1 year, it would have been better than 10. But if you continue to use steroids, it makes it worse. It's like smoking cigarettes. If you smoke a pack a day for 10 years, it's not good. But if you continue to do it for 5 additional years, it's even worse. Why not stop now? This is what I'm suggesting. Just eat a carnivore diet and put on 16 pounds of muscle while training for MMA.
You said 14. You said you put 14 pounds of muscle on at the start of the video. Now it's 16.
This is being pedantic. 14 pounds of muscle, 16 pounds of muscle. We're talking about 1 or 2 pounds. That could matter depending on how much hydrated or dehydrated it is. You're being pedantic. But notice what you're not doing. You're not answering the question. you're doing everything to avoid actually saying you're not Natty. And you know why? Because people don't like to lie. And so rather than sitting there and looking at the camera and saying, I'm actually natural, which if you were, you would have said it. You choose to do ad hominem attacks. It's very obvious. It's psychology I'm using on you. I know that you're not Natty. I would bet my life on it. I'm certain that you're not natural. And if you aren't, prove it. How good that would feel. Eddie, you post your blood work and you prove that you're Natty. Imagine how great it would feel to prove Coach Greg wrong. But you're not because you're not Natty. How is he getting stronger than he has been in years while on a diet, putting on muscle, and you all just sit back and say, oh, it's got to be the carnivore diet. And so he says, you know, I've got all this strength. I feel like an athlete. I feel better because of the carnivore diet. He doesn't go over any of the steroids. He doesn't talk about being on HRT, peptides, nothing. And so what does that look like? It looks like he's pushing a diet as the reason for his success. Is that not a snake oil salesman? If you attribute all of your gains to the diet that you're on and you show your physique and say, I lost this much fat, I gained this much muscle and so on, it's from the carnivore diet. Meanwhile, you don't disclose that you're on HRT, peptides and so on. Is that not lying? I mean, you're saying Coach Greg is a snake oil salesman, but yet I've proven with receipts that what we sell is legit, 100%, with proof, receipts. It's not up for debate. But you're sitting there and not telling people what you're on.
I'll say one thing, right? I've changed nothing. Since World's Strongest Man in 2017, I have changed nothing. The only thing that changed for this 90 days was my diet.
And so he says, since 2017, I've changed nothing. And so tell us what you've been on since 2017. You see what I'm saying? Have you been natural since 2017? I don't believe it. Do I believe that you haven't changed anything, no supplementation whatsoever in 8 years? I also don't believe that. But if you have, show us the history of your blood work. I know you've been up to date with your blood work. You're doing it perhaps every year, 2 years and so on. Show us all the blood work. Those are your receipts to prove your own case. Eddie Abu has abs. He has them with.
Did you just call me Eddie Abu? Oh.
Yeah, I mix up names all the time. You know I have a bad memory.
I mean, Jesus, I am not a 50-year-old black man. I'm sorry, I'm not.
And is in fact Eddie Abu a black natural athlete, just like Sebum? Perhaps he is. He's gonna need a proper 10. Perhaps he can get into using No real comment about the steroid statement, though. Big fan of you, but disappointed that one of the biggest in the industry doesn't talk openly about his usage of it. Edward, we love you, but there is no way in hell you or any other strongman of this century are Natty. Eddie, he's calculated the weight by using your starting weight and subtracting the percentage body fat you lost. Math man, if you know your weight before and after, and your body fat percentage before and after, then you can roughly calculate before and after lean muscle mass. Pretty clear you told ChatGPT how to respond. People who hate on Greg don't watch his videos and only dislike his clickbait combined with annoying screamy voice and brain rot memes. They don't get the message. And what is the message? That it's not the carnivore diet that is responsible for all of his changes, but also the fact that he's on either performance enhancing drugs, HRT, peptides, growth hormone, IGF, you name it. But it's not just the diet. And so if you say it's all the diet without disclosing your use of performance-enhancing drugs, to me, that is lying. Oh dear, Greg hurt your feelings. Not once have you denied the steroids. Be honest in cap locks. You barked up the wrong tree, friend. Greg and the editors will have a field day with this. Pretty bold to disagree with Greg's laser eyes. LOL, Greg is going to demolish you with math when he responds. He will break down the weight loss, and based on the results of your weight loss, since you mentioned percentages and his math is spot on, you don't even realize it yet. And so the people who watch the videos, they know exactly where I got these numbers. I didn't pull them out of thin air. I literally was a math teacher for 5 years. My IQ is much higher than 79. Unlike yours. Big fan of Eddie, but there's quite a few holes left to poke by Greg in this response. The avoidance of discussing steroids is a big one, but there's others. Best thing to do with response is be well prepared, but I feel this was a bit too off the cuff to really put everything Greg said to bed. Strap in, fellas. We're entering a glorious new era of fitness YouTube beef. Lat spread fart. Thank you, Greg. Blue Lobster loading. I also believe this is a fake beef, but you will seem very real. Awesome times. Asking ChatGPT, are you mad? ChatGPT will make something up if there's no data on it.
100 kilo dumbbells, giving a hurt my tricep doing it, but I did it.
When you're on performance-enhancing drugs, the risk of injury, it's that much more. And so he tore his tricep when doing the shoulder press, 100 kilo dumbbells. And I said, when you're on performance-enhancing drugs, your tendons, ligaments are not as strong as your muscles. He shakes his head. Oh no. Is it not true, Eddie? When you use and abuse performance-enhancing drugs, do your tendons not gain strength as fast as your muscles? And so are you not more likely to tear a muscle when you're on steroids than when you're natural? I'm asking you, Eddie. And so why do you just shake your head? Why don't you, if it's true, say, I am natural. I wasn't on anything. If it's true, why don't you say it? And so Eddie Hall, because of steroids, that's how he tore his triceps.
Or, Greg.
And so he shakes his head and he says, or.
For me, that was magical that I could keep up with one of the strongest people on the planet still.
And so he says, I'm training with one of the strongest shoulder pressers on the planet and I wanted to keep up with him. Remember, Eddie is past his prime. Do you think he did it natural? Is Eddie Hall as strong natural as one of the strongest pressers in the world? And so is he not saying he's not natural without saying he's not natural? I can keep up with one of the strongest men on the planet still. Tell me that's not an admittance to using steroids without telling me it is. Imagine, I'm still as jacked as the largest bodybuilder in the world. I'm pretty sure that if that guy's on steroids, you need to be also on steroids to keep up with him.
And yeah, I did it and tore my tricep. It is not because of steroids.
And he tore his tricep, and it's not because of steroids. It's because he wanted to keep up with somebody who's one of the strongest men in the world, years after he stopped training for this. But he's natural. Okay then. Hey, I took 3 months off the gym. I went back to the gym and I'm stronger in all my lifts. And oh, by the way, I'm up 16 pounds of muscle.
Where the f*** has he got 16 pounds of muscle from?
From math. The math is mathing, Eddie. And so think of it. You got stronger while training for MMA without training for strength, but you still got stronger and you added muscle. And that's not debatable. It's irrefutable. We went through and analyzed your data. You can't lose 7.1% of your body weight, which is 370 pounds, 7.1% of that, without losing more than 20 pounds. 7% of 350, 7% of 100, 7, 200 is 14, 300 it's 21, 370 it's another 5 pounds, and so it's 30 plus pounds. If you only lost 20, the pounds more than the 20, that had to be muscle. It had to be lean tissue. If you've only lost 20 pounds, but you've dropped over 30 pounds of fat, the rest is lean tissue, AKA muscle. And is it actually the fact that you cut out all those food groups that make you feel better? Or maybe the fact you're on steroids?
Did you just say a fact? Maybe the fact.
I'd love to see you prove me wrong. Are you or are you not on steroids? Eddie, I'm asking you, answer the question. Are you on steroids? Have you cut out all testosterone? Show me the blood work. And remember, HRT, which I'm on 140 milligrams a week. Notice I don't lie to you. Am I on steroids? Yes. Testosterone and enanthate prescribed by my doctor. I'm on steroids. It's called HRT. Hormone replacement therapy, also known as TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Testosterone, it's a steroid. Are you or are you not on steroids?
Oh, you better be careful saying shit like that, Sunshine.
I don't need to be careful because I know I'm right. And if I'm wrong, prove it.
Tell you what is a fact. It's a fact that Greg is a dirty snake, oil-selling drug dealer.
Is it a fact that Greg is a dirty snake oil selling salesman? Is it a fact that I sold fake steroids, of which you said, I have the proof with receipts. It was not fake steroids. I prove in my case, and proof from Nootropics Depot that it is in fact legit. The same company that outed everyone, the Gorilla Minds, the Sebums, everyone, as having fake Ajuga trichostatica. They did the testing, and we didn't know any better. The massive companies that we're buying from, the companies with tens of millions of dollars, selling to all the distributors, they were selling all of us the exact same thing. Myself, Derek, Chris Bumstead. All of us were sold the same thing. And so you're making it look like Coach Greg, the dirty snake oil salesman, when I'm the only company that did what was right. The only one. And to this day, the only company which is verified as having actual terkesterone from the plant, Ajuga trichostatica. And so Eddie Hall, eat your freaking words.
Dirty snake, oil selling, drug dealer who cannot be trusted. That's a fact.
And so an early drug dealing snake oil. Eddie, where'd you get your steroids from? Was it not from a drug dealer, aka somebody selling steroids? What did he say? Are you gonna sit there and lie to the world that you're 100% natural? Or did you not get your steroids from a steroid dealer? Someone like Coach Greg. How do you think you're getting it? Every bodybuilder on steroids bought it from someone. And so to just sit there and paint the picture, an ad hominem attack, Coach Greg, you can't trust him because he used to sell steroids. And yeah, it was real steroids. And so, how dare you, a man who we know is not natural? You're gonna lie to the world saying you're natural and you're not?
You advocate steroids. You advocate them for certain things. And it's dirty tactics, mate.
I'm saying you're not natural. Tell us your cycle. How many milligrams of testosterone are you on per week? How many peptides? What about telmisartan for perhaps high blood pressure? What medications are you on? Do you have normal cholesterol or are you on cholesterol meds? We don't believe you unless you talk about it. And so unless you prove it, unless you send the receipts, no one's believing that you're natural. And so you can make fun of me all you like. Call me a snake oil salesman. Say that I sell fake steroids. But when you don't answer the question, the main question of the video, I'm calling you out. You ain't natural. You didn't talk about it. And you avoid that. That makes you look bad.
Again, to suit his narrative, he just took something completely out of context. I was eating too much yogurt at night time, which was causing acid reflux.
And so it was the yogurt. He was eating too much of it at night. So much that it caused him to have a voice loss as well as acid reflux from the yogurt. But was yogurt not part of the carnivore diet? The carnivore diet is so good and you're allowed to have yogurt on it and you had too much of it. Then how is it a good diet?
So that wasn't really a problem with the diet, it was the problem with the timing of when I ate my Greek yogurt.
I mean, how are you going to get through to this guy? I'm on a carnivore diet, but when I ate the carnivore diet, it caused problems with my voice and acid reflux. Is it also perhaps from the steroids? I know that when I was on, for example, Anadrol, I also had acid reflux. It was making it very difficult to go to bed. I was burping up, I was throwing up in the middle of the night, and I was on Anadrol. And so are you in fact 100% natural and is it just the yogurt or are you on other performance-enhancing drugs?
Absolutely not. Not now I read up about the independent lab testing and all your snake gear oil you've been selling in the past. 100%.
And so by nobody wants to get that, let me look at how much we're sold out right now. And so as of recording this video, in the last 22 hours, we're almost sold out. 90% sold out, Eddie. And so nobody wants to buy it, yet I'm 90% sold out in under a day. And so by the time this video comes out, it's sold out. Now, if you want Turkesterone, get to the website and click to get notified right away. The tens of thousands of people that have already clicked, so what happens is, as soon as it gets back in stock, an email automatically goes to you. Hey, it's in stock, buy it now. And so if you buy it right away, for example, on the first day, you get to buy it. But if you wait, you don't. And you have to wait till we can smuggle it back in from Uzbekistan yet again. The last batch got seized by the FDA. They wanted to make sure that it wasn't breaking any laws. It was stuck for an extra week. And so that is why it's selling out faster than last time. And so I'm smuggling in as much Turkesterone as fast as I can from Uzbekistan. And remember, we have an exclusivity agreement. They can't sell it to anyone else. And so if you look at Gorilla Mind or any other supplement manufacturer, they ain't selling Turkesterone from Uzbekistan. Most likely it's the copycat plant from China, of which I was offered to buy it from them from $5.85. I'm paying way more than that for the actual product, which I have made in Uzbekistan. Way more. And so if I was actually a dirty snake oil salesman, I would have bought this stuff from China and increased my profit margins substantially. I could have even sold it cheaper because I'm buying it cheaper and mislabeled it like everyone else is and continue to do it even after Nootropics Depot has pointed out that they're wrong. These companies, they don't care. I care. I try to do my best to ensure you're getting the top quality ingredients. Now, was I in fact tricked 3 years ago? Absolutely. Did I rectify it? Yes. Changed it from Turk Builder to Ecti Builder. I didn't know any better. You think I knowingly was trying to sell something that it wasn't? Absolutely not. I have integrity. I would never do that. Other companies, they don't care. I've called them out and noticed, have they made responses? Has Gorilla Mind made a response? Hey, everybody, we want to point out that what we're selling is actually real. Coach Greg got it wrong. They're not saying that because they know better. And do I look scared? Let's see the lawsuit, because I would win, because I have the proof, I have the receipts. And so bring it to me. And so if you're buying from another company and you know that I have a money back guarantee and a $20 gift card, it's on you. Buy whatever you want. But I've been vindicated, proven to be selling the legit Ujuga Turkistanica from Uzbekistan. The actual product that works, not the scam bullshit.
The irony of this, guys, calling other people's scam.
Yeah, the irony of me calling other people's bullshit, because I have the receipts. I have the proof. I don't say or do things that I don't know. And so when I call somebody out, I do so because I know. For example, when I say that Eddie Hall is not natural, I do so because I'm convinced. And so I put the odds of Eddie Hall being natural to be equal as Michael Hearn and The Rock. Actually, I think The Rock is more likely natural than Eddie Hall. What do you say to that, Eddie Hall? You gonna deny it? Let's see the response video and deliberately, on purpose, respond to this question. Are you natural? Are you on testosterone? Are you on peptides? Are you on polypharmacy to make up for the damages that steroids have done to your body? Or have you always been and always will be 100% natural? Now, if you are natural or if you're on testosterone, I still think you should take Turk Builder Max. Now that you know it's legit, that it's real, you've seen it work for other people, we have tens of thousands of people rebuying it. Do you want it now, Eddie? And so I come with the receipts. This beef is on. This is not the first video. This will be the first of many. Be prepared for the side chest, back spread, lat spread, fart noise, Blue Lobster chiming in the background. And yeah, you lack the proper tan. Now, you may not blame it on 20 pounds of body water, but seeing as you're dehydrated, why aren't you shredded? And so once you lose the titties bouncing in your face running the 7-minute mile, or the titties bouncing in your face when you're swimming, then I'll believe you're under 20%. And until the time when I see you swim a mile in under 22 minutes, I don't believe it. I don't think you could come even close to 22 minutes. Now, whether you did that as a 16-year-old or as a teenager, maybe you were that fast when you're a teen. I don't believe you're that fast now. And so if, Eddie, you want to challenge Coach Greg to a triathlon, I'm on. If you think you can out-swim, bike, and run Coach Greg, well, let's see it. I'm up for the challenge. Who wants to see Eddie Hall, 350 pounds, against 190-pound Coach Greg in a triathlon? Yeah, former national champion swimmer against little old Coach Greg. I'm betting on Greg.
I'm gonna have to go lie down, maybe a piece of cheesecake, maybe some blueberries. I think I'm gonna Google a little bit more about Greg Doucette and his dirty, horrible, snaky past.
Patapim pesos. Tung 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 sahur. Fight!
And so I'm looking forward to him Googling some more, as if we haven't had millions of people already Google my name, as if I haven't seen all the videos that anyone could ever do about me. You don't think other haters of Coach Greg have already thought of this? I'm going to Google everything about him. I'm going to show everything that he's done. I get these videos all the time. They keep posting the same things. I've already dealt with all of it. And so, Eddie, you can look as much as you want. You're not going to learn anything new.
Nothing personal. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of dose of your own medicine, mate.
And so a little bit of a dose of my own medicine. The difference is I come with facts. You come up with bullshit. And so perhaps you could have said, is Coach Greg natural? I would have said, nope. You could have said, was Coach Greg ever selling steroids? I would have said, yes. Were they real steroids? Yes. Did I do bad things in my past? Absolutely. Did you though, Eddie? Are you natural? And when you got steroids, did you get it from a steroid dealer? Were you prescribed testosterone from your doctor? When you deadlifted 1,100 pounds, weighing over 400, were you 100% natural back then? Does anyone think that Eddie Hall was 100% natural back then, or that he's 100% natural right now? And so interested in Turk Builder Max, of course, GO2 Max will improve your cardio, something Eddie Hall could certainly benefit from. Turk Builder and GO2 Max, 100% natural. Use code Greg 15% off. And if you want the free diet and training program, given over 110,000 of these. Remember, it's not all about making money. If I'd sold this for $50, it's over $5 million. It's free. Free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages in length. And so if you want that, head to my website, enter code Greg for 15% off on all supplements. And until next time, I am out.